From its opening with a bat symbol taking shape within the flames, The Dark Knight presents audiences with fire, symbolic of the chaos the Joker is about to unleash upon Gotham. What if fire, however, goes beyond chaos? What if fire is much more than just an agent for meaningless destruction, and symbolically becomes just what the Batman needs and ultimately makes use of to save the city? On this episode of Starch, we delve into the second installment of Christopher Nolan's highly acclaimed The Dark Knight trilogy. And for the record, this video contains heavy spoilers. So, here we go. Bruce's penthouse overlooks Gotham's somber skyline, reminiscent of Batman's own watchfulness over the city. Despite standing tall, however, Bruce could never find himself in a lower place since his parents' death. The Joker, who needs no introduction, is on the loose, wreaking havoc once more. Harvey Dent, the city's district attorney and legit symbol of justice in the fight against organized crime, lies in a hospital bed, seriously injured. Most painfully of all things, Rachel, Bruce's great love, and his one hope for a normal life after the Batman, is dead, having fallen victim in the Joker's sick plot for Gotham's soul. Having failed to rescue Rachel, Bruce is overwhelmed by grief and guilt. Expectedly, he seeks familial comfort in Alfred, mirroring the tragic scene in Batman Begins, once his parents, Thomas and Martha Wayne, are laid to rest. But here's the twist. Whereas in Batman Begins, Alfred rightfully assures the child Bruce he bears no blame for his parents' murder on that fateful night, in The Dark Knight, he lays what happened to Rachel straight onto Batman's shoulders, not to condemn, but to confront Bruce. Having spat onto the criminals' faces, Bruce should expect retaliation. He should expect casualties. Bruce needs no comfort. He needs a push, perhaps the hardest push in the entire trilogy. Alfred knows this better than anyone. He knows that if Bruce gives in to sentiment in his darkest hour, he might want to hang up the cape, quit entirely, and all will be lost. Gotham needs a hero more than ever, and in the absence of Harvey Dent, Batman is the people's next best option. Rachel knew this. More importantly, she believed this too.
8th and Orchard. You'll find Harvey Dent there.
For Bruce, the question is how? How can he learn to pick himself up again? How can he keep going after so much suffering, so much loss? How can he put an end to the Joker's mad circus once and for all? Alfred, being the wise man he is, knows how. Bruce, or rather, the Batman, has to amp his game. Batman will have to, in Alfred's own words, burn the forest down. Earlier in the film, despite the clown's imminent and worrisome rising through the street ranks, Bruce mistakenly just takes him as another run-of-the-mill gangster. He reaffirms criminals aren't complicated, that he only needs to figure out what the Joker's after. But Alfred, again, being the wise man he is, pushes back. He goes on to recount how, prior to serving the Wayne family, he once hunted for precious stones, which were being taken by a bandit from caravans in Burma. He recounts how, after 6 months of searching, none of the jewels could be found, until the day he saw a child playing with a tangerine-sized ruby. The bandit had been throwing away the stones. When Bruce asks why steal the stones in the first place, Alfred responds,
Well, because he thought it was good sport, because some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money.
Then he goes on to deliver his most iconic line.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Watch the world burn. Fire. From its opening with a bat symbol taking shape within the flames, fire is the elemental force in The Dark Knight. And through the Joker's terrors, audiences can know that fire represents chaos. But more than just an agent of meaningless destruction, fire can also be leveraged, put to work, to purge, even cleanse the land of its evils. And this use of fire with purpose will come in handy precisely when Gotham needs it the most. The Caped Crusader, by the very nature of his vigilantism, operates outside the law. He has no qualms about beating up criminals, smashing cars, and leaving his trail of fear through the night, all the while looking cool as hell. Batman goes as far as risking initiating a diplomatic incident between the United States and China by trespassing into China's territory and snatching one of its citizens, Lao, the mob's most wanted accountant. All of that said, there are still boundaries Batman will not cross. Doing so brings him dangerously closer to the enemies he's fighting against. He's got his hands dirty, undoubtedly, but he has restraints. His no gun, no killing rule being his most obvious. Bringing back Alfred's words of burn the forest down, plain and simple, they mean desperate times call for desperate measures. If the precious stone bandit who steals for sport is too cunning, always avoiding capture, burn the forest. He'll either die in the fire or be forced to step out of hiding. That's exactly how the bandit got caught in Alfred's story. In the same way, if the Joker's proven to be too formidable a foe, for the Dark Knight's modus operandi, break the mold, push the envelope, catch him, by whatever means necessary. Both Alfred and Bruce know that, in his utility belt, Batman still has ethics he can spare. Bruce just needs to grant Batman permission to, in a sense, burn the city down. That's the cause of his fighting his just war. Furthermore, the people of Gotham's deal-making with the devil also presumes the Dark Knight must, in some capacity, be allowed to ride over the legality as well as the morality of things. The inconvenient truth even the upright district attorney has to admit to publicly.
Think that he's gonna protect an outlaw vigilante than the lives of citizens?
The Batman is an outlaw. But that's not why we're demanding he turn himself in. We're doing it because we're scared. We've been happy to let the Batman clean up our streets for us until now.
Things are worse than ever.
After all, these same people of good faith themselves have indirectly appointed the Batman by sitting still and letting corruption take root and spread all over. If you are enjoying this episode so far, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more content just like this. With the city taken hostage, mass hysteria runs rampant. Escape is all that matters. And with his back against the wall, Batman is forced to unveil his most powerful weapon yet, his surveillance machine. Lucius Fox, head of Wayne Enterprises Applied Sciences Division, can explain best.
You took my sonar concept and applied it to every phone in the city. With half the city feeding you sonar, you can image all of Gotham. This is wrong.
Lucius, who's greatly distressed and concerned at this point, states what everyone knows is absurd. That spying on 30 million people to find the Joker's whereabouts is pushing it too far. Batman is burdened too. Pain can be felt deep in his voice.
I've got to find this man, Lucius.
At what cost?
But remember, if the Joker's proven to be too formidable a foe, burn the city, catch him, by whatever means necessary. Batman's surveillance machine is fire. The same fire that purges, levels the ground. The same fire that, leveraged, can make a rather dishonorable battle more even for the Batman, the lesser of the two evils. And yes, spying on 30 million people is pushing it far. But that's one of, if not the main question, the Dark Knight is asking. When dealing with a terrorist, such as the Joker, how far is actually too far? For the people of Gotham, who are still ready to believe in good, all that remains is that once the madness is over, they can bury this shameful part of their history deep, and justice will finally prevail. Thank you all very much for watching. If you want to support the channel, check the link in the description. And if you enjoyed this episode, you might as well enjoy the next one appearing on screen. See you soon.